Welcome back, everyone. Market values may go up and down as investor sentiment changes, but for the most part, dividend income typically moves in only one direction, up. As dividend investors, we can find comfort in tracking our passive income and watching the snowball effect bring us closer to financial independence. Regardless of what type of dividend investor you are, whether you focus solely on income or you aim for a blend of total return, there is no better news than a nice and juicy dividend increase announcement. My personal portfolio recently crossed above $240,000, placing me inches away from crossing the $250,000 threshold. My investing strategy is focused on total return, but I only invest in dividend growth stocks because I want to build a passive income stream that will fund my retirement. I've been tracking my dividend income, and recently I also started tracking the ending market value of my portfolio, my forward expected dividend income, and my trailing 12-month dividend income. I've been doing this at the end of each month starting with January of this year, and today I wanted to share this information with you. So let's start with a brief history first, and then we'll take a look at my portfolio and the projections as of today. At the end of January, my portfolio had a market value of about $231,000, and my forward dividend income was $4,887.30. By the end of February, my portfolio value fell by about $2,000, net of my contributions for the month, but my projected dividend income climbed to $5,001.92. Seeing my dividend income climb, even when my portfolio drops in value, keeps me motivated to remain patient and trust that the process of investing works out in the long run. By the end of March, my portfolio hit a market value of $237,000, up about $8,000 from the prior month, and my projected dividend income grew as well to $5,128.50. April was another positive month as my portfolio crossed above $240,000. And my dividend income jumped again to $5,366.76. All in all, it's not a bad start to the year. The value of my investments has increased, net of my contributions, and my projected dividend income is about $500 higher than it was 3 months ago. The primary drivers of the larger projected dividend income have been dividend increases, some minor shifts I have made in my portfolio, and new capital I have deployed in the market. My trailing dividend income has grown nicely since January as well. At the end of January, I received a total of $2,813.23 in dividends during the prior 12 months. At the end of February, this figure grew to $2,988.10, and then it jumped much higher in March to $3,343.65. In April, I saw a modest increase as well, to $3,410.30. The large difference between my forward and trailing dividend income can be explained by a large inflow into my dividend strategies in January. I converted an old 401k account that was invested in index funds to a traditional IRA and deployed the funds into dividend stocks. This one-time shift in assets gave my forward dividend income a big boost, and these new dividend flows started trickling in February and March, which explains why the trailing dividend stream is growing faster than the projected dividend stream. Between January and April, my trailing 12-month dividend income has grown by over 21%, while my forward dividend income is up just shy of 10%. And while my portfolio may not generate a high level of income, the majority of stocks I target offer high dividend growth rates, and you can see that clearly by the rate of growth from the past quarter. I don't intend to retire anytime soon, and if I can maintain a healthy dividend growth rate, I should be able to build a large enough passive income stream without depending on high-yield stocks or funds. As of right now, my portfolio consists of 82 unique positions and yields 2.25%. My actual projected income today is $5,406.45. Which is already a little higher than the month-end April projection. Based on this projection, I can expect to see about $1,351 in dividends each quarter, or $450 on average per month, which puts me just north of $100 per week. It's not enough to replace my regular income, but earning $14.81 passively every day while I go about my regular life is a good feeling. My largest holding right now is SCHD at 4.89% of my portfolio. And I'm actually looking to clean up my portfolio a little more in the coming weeks, so SCHD will likely become a much larger position for me in the future. I have a large position in Microsoft and Apple, both with a market value of more than $7,000. Rounding out the top 10 are Lowe's, Nvidia, T-Rowe, Cintas, Home Depot, United Healthcare, and Costco, all with market values of at least $6,000. When I add up my top 10 holdings, they account for a little more than 30% of my entire portfolio. Dividend income in 2023 has been rather good for me. This is in part due to the additional money I deployed into dividend stocks, but I've also seen a handful of above-average dividend increases this year already. Quarter 1 of this year was the first time I surpassed the $1,000 mark. The exact amount of dividends I received was $1,133.61, which was 48.51% higher than Q4 of 2022. I expect Q2 to be even better, and possibly somewhere around $1,300. Based on my projected dividend income, I should easily finish the year above $5,000, and possibly even close to $6,000. The nice thing about receiving more dividend income is that you can start to see the impact of dividend reinvestment. As I receive larger dividend payments, I see my future projected income climb faster each time I reinvest those dividends right back into more stocks. Speaking of projections, I put together a little projection of how my investing strategy might work out in the long run. I took my starting balance at the end of January this year, estimated my contributions that I anticipate to make to my portfolio, and made some growth assumptions. I expect that in the long run, I can achieve a 10% total return. And given that my dividend yield right now is 2.25%, to hit a 10% long-term total return, I would require a 7.75% rate of capital appreciation. I also increased my contributions by 3% per year to estimate a standard salary increase. I personally expect to grow my contribution rate much faster, but I wanted to keep this projection conservative. Based on these assumptions, I should end the year with a market value of about $280,000 and $5,460 in dividend income. By the end of the decade, my portfolio should have a market value of about $732,000, and my annual dividend income should be about $14,638. If I can keep this plan going for another decade, I would expect to have a market value of about $2.5 million and an annual dividend income of $50,942. If I could keep this up all the way to a standard retirement age, that would put my final year of contributing into this portfolio as 2052, and I should hit a market value of about $10 million and have an annual dividend income of $203,540. I know the stock market won't be such a nice and even write-up over the next 30 years, but I am pretty confident I can come close to a 10% annualized rate of return over this span of time. Even if I come up short, I should still finish in a decent place. Time is really your best friend when it comes to investing and growing wealth. I am planning for the long term, but I realize that life isn't always as pretty as we plan for it to be, so I imagine that I will encounter some surprises in the next 3 decades that may cause me to deviate from this plan, and I will have to adjust my portfolio. This projection is purely for my dividend investing strategy, but my wife and I also have other investments, like company 401k plans that are not invested in dividend stocks for lack of options, and an employee purchase plan and some real estate. My dividend portfolio is my main focus, but I'm not placing all of my eggs in just this one basket. Some of you may be ahead of me on your dividend journey, and some might be behind, but regardless of where you are today, where you will end up is entirely up to you and how determined you are to get there. So no matter where you are, my advice is, find what works for you and stick with it for a long time. Have some patience and watch your goals materialize in front of your eyes. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave it a like to help me grow this channel. Thank you for watching and see you next time.